Hey there folks, welcome back to Michigan Great Outdoors. I'm really excited today to bring you the Tx5 LONESTAR. Alright guys, so here it is, the Tx5 LONESTAR. You know, you guys that follow my channel, you know that I review a lot of gear. You know, some gear I buy just to review it, and maybe I don't intend to hunt with it, but I always try to review it in a way that I would use it and try to give you an honest, review and feedback. This is a product that I really wanted. I've been wanting a single panel saddle for a long time. You guys know I run the Latitude Method too, but I really wanted to find something, a single panel, something a bit unique. I was looking at some of the other kind of custom gear type saddles, and this one just kept popping up. Tx5, Tx5, Tx5. And I was talking to some of my buddies in the mobile hunting community, and they highly recommended this Tx5 brand. So I started doing some research, started looking into it. And I kind of like things that are a little bit unique. They're a little bit, one-off, not everybody has. So I ended up, doing some research, and actually had somebody lend me a Tx5 Reaper, and I played with it last summer. I was going to put out a video, but I just didn't feel comfortable talking about that saddle because I didn't hunt out of it, and I didn't really use it, and I didn't want to come off like an idiot. So having said all that, this is probably going to be a longer review. I want to be in-depth about this. It's a saddle I did a ton of research on, and in the process of doing that research, they came out with some really cool features that were new to Tx5. So the big thing that we'll talk about today is the HPR system. So that stands for Hip Pinch Reduction System. Basically, inside here, right here where these two webbing pieces come together, there's like a plastic stay type material. And it's actually removable. So right here, there's a Velcro piece that you can flip up. It's actually kind of hard to open, but once you flip this up, you can pull that stay out if you want to. So that's a really nice feature. It's supposed to eliminate hip pinch, and I can attest to this after hunting out of it about 10 times. Actually, this is the one I hunted out of. So this is a LONESTAR as well. And I hunted out of this saddle about 10 times in the season, and I never had hip pinch ever. There's only one time that I had hip pinch, and I got up in the tree, and I was like, what the heck is going on? My right hip was hurting me. And I was like, what the heck? And I felt down, and I realized that I left my pistol I carry inside the waistband. I left my pistol in there, and it was kind of pulling in on my hip. All I had to do was kind of just adjust it a little bit, and I actually hunted the entire hunt with my pistol inside the waistband, which I thought was kind of cool. The XPD seat, which stands for expand. I don't have an expand seat. This is actually the original, Reaper seat, which is a stretch style. When I talked with Matthew Tompkins about, I sent him a message and I said, hey, I'm really interested in your saddles. What do you recommend for a guy my size? He recommended the stretch style seat. So you can see it's kind of stretchy. And so when you get in there, the saddle, there's this whole material inside here that's, cushioned, really comfortable. It's quiet material. And then the outside, it actually stretches some. So when you're sitting in your saddle and you're putting weight back into it, it kind of gives you a little bit of a expanded, seat. One of the other really cool features is the Viper loops. So here you can see the lines of the loop it kind of looks like a viper snake. I believe that's what inspired the name. And if you go on the website and you read about them, it's stated that this material here, it's so rigid because it's looped 7 times and then it's heavily stitched. So what's nice about the Viper loops, as you can see on my saddle, look how forward they are. When I'm going to clip on my linesman belt, it's very easy. Everything's right here. And in the dark, when you're setting up in the morning, say it's before sunrise, it's easy to figure out where your loops are. Obviously, with saddle hunting, you always want to visually check everything to make sure you didn't put it in the wrong spot. But, you know, very nice linesman loops. They're forward positioning and they're very comfortable. So these lineman loops are covered in Cordura. I think it's 500D material. So it's the same as the outer shell if you choose Cordura. So at the end of the video, we'll talk about how you can customize these saddles and kind of make them your own. I went with Cordura. I like that material. It's a nice material. It looks good. It holds its color. You know, it's a little bit noisy when you rub on it, but when you're in the tree hunting, you know, you're not going to be brushing all up on there, so it's not going to be an issue. So it does come with a floating waist belt, and if you can tell, I have two different styles here. So this is the original waist belt that came with the saddle. It's kind of like a seatbelt material. I don't know exactly what it's called, but what I found, and I don't really have a butt, I'm kind of just flat in the back. What I found is that this was starting to loosen up a little bit. Now they put a tri-glide on here. I don't know if you can see because I'm wearing black. So the idea is you pull this tight and then you move the tri-glide and you take up that slack and it's going to hold it tight on you. And the nice thing about the floating waist belt is you can move it around. What I found is that even still this was kind of loosening up on me. I thought it was, you know, maybe it was just loose, but I was wearing, I wear a K's 2.0 backpack, and that backpack, when I'm walking, it's pushing down on here, and I think that's what was actually causing this saddle to come down a little bit. So I talked with Matt, and he came up with a solution. So he got a different style waistband. So this is more of a nylon material, and it's kind of similar to something that you'd get in like a high-end tactical vest, or maybe a tactical backpack. This thing, I think it's a little bit thicker and it holds better in this Raptor buckle. So I haven't had any issues. Once I got this waist belt, I haven't had any problems with my saddle sagging or moving down or anything like that. So I really like that. Again, he's another guy that listens to his customers and he tries to improve his product. So talking about the Raptor buckles, this is an ADF Raptor buckle. These are made in the US. They're rated. This buckle here is rated at 2,000 pounds, and it's made from 70-75 aluminum. So most of our climbing sticks are 61, I think, 60-61 or something like that. So this is a higher grade aluminum. These are not cheap buckles. They're expensive. Kind of, you know, plays into the price of this saddle. This is not a cheap saddle, and you're getting a waist belt with a very nice buckle. Now, some guys might complain it's a little big, but because it's floating, you can move it around. So say, you know, I'm kind of chubby, I got this big gut hanging in the way, and maybe this is bothering me for a while, I can just move it to wherever it's not bothering me. So it's a very nice feature. I like that feature about this saddle, and it's very easy to get on and off. You know, the one thing I'll say about this saddle is when you hold it up, you know, everybody says, well, you know, it's loud, it makes noise. This buckle makes a little bit of noise. Once it's on you, it's not going to make any noise. Once this is taut, this buckle is not going to make any noise unless you clank your bow or something against it. One of the cool things about this saddle is it comes with an 8mm Oplux bridge, which is girth hitched on this side with a figure 8. And then on this side, we have a Swabash hitch Amsteel with a tender. So if we're in a tree and we want to easily adjust our bridge, all you got to do is pull up. Kind of works like a ropeman or a Kong duck. I like to run about a 12 to 16 inch bridge. I like to keep it rather short, and this thing is solid. It holds good. And then if you ever want to loosen it up, so you got weight in there and it kind of bites hard, all you got to do is kind of dress it a little bit and it pulls back really easily. And it's a nice, very, very smooth bridge. It's very smooth in the carabiner, so when you're sitting in there and you have weight in your saddle, it's easily adjustable. It slides through nicely. Bridge loops. You got really nice big bridge loops. They stick out in front of you, which offers, you know, better reduced hip pinch characteristics. I really like these bridge loops. And, you know, obviously you can have some adjustment here if you want to feel more pull in the bottom of the saddle. You adjust them down. If you want to feel more pull up high, you can move them up. So very adjustable. Again, the tender is on here, and it makes it super easy to adjust this in the tree. So looking at the saddle, you do have the molly loops all the way around, pretty standard in every saddle that you get. This one is a little bit bigger, and I think it's a little bit bigger just so you can, you know, unvelcro this strap right here. And then one of the cool, unique things to TX5 is he's got a molly loop here, and then he's got his, you know, I don't know what he calls these, but they're his gear hooks. And they're a little bit, it's like a molly hook, but it's bigger. It's more rigid. And it's really awesome for clipping in carabiners. You know, when I like to climb up the tree, I like to go up in one trip. So I'll have sticks hanging all off of me. I'll have my platform hanging off of me. So it does make life a little bit easier, especially in the dark. You can just hit it by feel. You don't have to look down. So I really like these hooks. I actually wish he had a couple more on here. I think if I ever order another TX5 saddle, I might try to request to see if I can get some more put on here, just, you know, to have extra spots. So we talked about the ADF Raptor buckle. Like I said, it's a really nice buckle. And looking at the leg straps, so these leg straps, they are sewn in here at the bottom. They're not removable, but they have a nice position, and they use these Cobra buckles. If I could say anything negative about the saddle, it's these things are a little bit noisy. I don't know if there's something I can do, maybe if I try to put some stealth strip materials or something in here to kind of quiet them down a little bit. Again, once they're clipped in and they're on you, it's not really going to make too much noise, but I mean, there still is a little bit of noise there. They're really nice because they're out of the way, so they're kind of off to the side, and they're easily adjustable, so you can tighten them down. They tighten up really nice, and then they're super easy to loosen, so you just pull up on them and you can loosen them. So when I walk into, you know, where I'm going to hunt, I'll have these as loose as possible. You know, you have to clip them in, because if not, they're going to be dangling behind you. So I put them on really loose, and then when I get to the tree before I climb, just quickly tighten them up, and you're good to go. The nice thing about these Cobra buckles is they are rated. So these are rated at 800 pounds. It makes me feel good being a bigger guy that these are rated. And if you look at the stitching, he's really put a ton of stitching in here. So I'm not sure what would happen in a drop test. I would think that these would hold up a lot better than a standard G hook. I've heard that G hooks will bend, they will fail in drop tests. I don't see this failing. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not a drop test engineer. I don't know how great these are for, you know, saddle applications. I know that they're very user friendly. I would rather have this than a G hook personally. Like I said, there's just a little bit of noise you get from those, but it's something I'm going to look to try to rectify and try to eliminate. So if you're looking at this saddle when I hold it, or if I'm wearing it, you might think it's a little bit big. This is the XL version, so it comes in small, medium, and large. They are kind of sized to fit, so if you have, like, say, a 35 to 41 inch waist, you're supposed to get a large. If you're right kind of on that cusp, it recommends that you should size up, and I think that's pretty standard for most saddles. You know, when in doubt, just go up. I went with the XL, which is, you know, 42 and above, just because, you know, I'm going to have a base layer on. I may have, you know, pants obviously on, or I could have even bibs on. And I hunted out of this saddle in late season with my bibs, and it was extremely comfortable. I didn't have any issues at all with sizing. I had my bibs on under. I hung everything, I climbed up, and I felt really good about it. So my particular saddle here, this is a size XL, like I said. It does weigh 2 pounds on the scale. You know, some guys might say, well, that's a little bit heavy for a saddle. It doesn't feel heavy at all to me. You know, obviously this is the XL version, so I have more meat on here. As you can see, you know, it's a big saddle. I'm a bigger guy, but for me, 2 pounds, I don't think that's a deal breaker at all. I mean, 2 pounds is literally nothing. And when you're wearing it into your stand, you obviously, you don't even feel that weight. So I'm sure some of the smaller size saddles, you're probably going to get in that, you know, 1.75 range, or maybe even under for the small size. All right, so I know we've gone over a lot with this saddle so far. I hope I still have you here. I'm going to talk about price real quick. $350. This is an expensive saddle. I think it's probably the highest saddle on the market. Me personally, I would rather pay more money and get an amazing product than pay less and get maybe a subpar product. You know, I'm a firm believer as you get what you pay for. This is 100% made in the USA, and I think almost everything on here is sourced in the USA. Especially what's going on in the world right now. It makes me feel good inside to do that. It makes me feel good inside to support a small business. You know, Matthew Tompkins, he runs his company out of Deweyville or Dewey, Texas or something like that. small little town in Texas. It makes me feel good to support, you know, made in America. It is expensive. I'm not going to disagree with that, but you're getting a custom experience. You're getting the HPR system. You're getting some different loops here. You're getting a very, very comfortable saddle. I've never had any discomfort sitting in this saddle. And I'm not BSing you just to make a video. I'm being honest with you. I did a ton of research. You know, maybe there's other saddles out there that are just as good. I don't know. I haven't tried every saddle. But for me, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard for me going forward to really want to buy or try, you know, different saddles. Obviously, I'm a YouTube channel. I probably will buy and try some saddles, but it's going to be hard for me to say that I wouldn't hunt out of this. I trust this saddle. I think it's safe. I think it's well built. And, you know, I'm going to be starting one sticking up this year. I wanted a single panel saddle for that. I wanted something that was safe, something that was durable, something that felt like it was over-engineered. That's what I feel this saddle is all about. You know, I like the leg straps. I'm a leg strap guy. I feel like they're a step above a lot of leg straps on the market. I like that you can go on there and you can choose whatever you want. You can choose your color. You can choose if you want the expand seat, if you want the mesh style seat, if you want Cordura, if you want mesh, if you want Molly, you know, what color Molly you want, what color gear hooks you want. You know, it's kind of a unique experience. You know, I was told that this material here for the waistband, this heavy duty nylon, is going to be an option. So you can choose this if you want, or you can choose this seatbelt type material. I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called. Last but not least, I wanted to just talk about the saddle colors and different options you can get. We've talked about the different seat options. We've talked about, you know, the mesh versus the Cordura, but the colors are endless. So you can go on tx5.com, you click, you know, select Lone Star, and then once you go into your, I think it goes to like the next menu, you can choose your options. So you can choose which color Molly you want. You can choose which color webbing you want. You can choose which color material you want. And there's a lot of options on there. You can choose which side you want your bridge to be on. So if you're left-handed and you want your bridge on the left side, you can choose that. That's the custom aspect of this. I believe he's also going to give an option so you can choose the thicker waistband material. I suggest this personally. I was not a huge fan of this seatbelt type material. You know, maybe it works for some guys. It really didn't work out for me. I think I'm actually going to see if I can order a new waistband for this saddle because I kind of like both of these and I'm going to keep them both. But, you know, there's a lot of options that you can use. You know, I'm a multicam guy. I love multicam. I love Ranger Green. I think if I was to get another one of these, I'd probably try that expand seat, maybe get, you know, some different colors. So really the options are kind of endless. You can kind of choose and tailor make something that's perfect for you. I know some guys have even, you know, gotten something even more custom where they bought their own materials and they sent them to TX5 and they made something specific for them. So options are endless. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Like I said, I'm 260 pounds. I got a 38-inch waist. This is a TX5 Lone Star in the XL model. So I'm hoping that it was helpful. If not, you can send me questions. You can message me on Facebook, Instagram. You can comment down in this video below. If I can't answer those questions, I'll reach out to TX5 for you or do it yourself. Reach out to TX5, send them a message. You know, this is an investment. You want to make sure you get it right. You want to make sure you get the correct options. So hopefully this video is helpful, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.